embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
On national television, inside an NFL stadium packed with fans, T.I. was caught on camera with his own son trapped in a headlock, a moment that instantly spread across the internet. But shockingly, that scene was only the beginning. The conflict he had already ignited with 50 Cent had escalated into something far more intense and deeply personal, and what Tip did afterward left the entire culture frozen, glued to their screens in disbelief. This was no ordinary rap exchange. What started as a versus-style challenge between two certified icons quickly spiraled into one of the most ruthless confrontations hip-hop has seen in years. Lines were crossed without hesitation, mothers were invoked, wives became targets, and sons were pulled straight into a battle that was never meant for them. Private conversations exploded into public chaos, timelines turned into battlegrounds, and reputations were being challenged moment by moment in front of the world.
Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though. Oh, Lord. I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He dug.
Once the shots started flying, it felt like nobody was off limits. Just when the world believed this feud was heading for total destruction, T.I. made a move nobody could have predicted. He reached out and apologized. Yes, that actually happened. But don't rush ahead. Getting to that moment involves a trail of diss records, wiped posts, rising family tension, and confrontations so uncomfortable even veteran figures in hip-hop had to pause and watch. If you think this story ends with 50 Cent, think again, the situation runs much deeper. There is another chapter entirely, one centered around T's own son, King Harris, who ended up in a physical on-camera moment the internet still replays non-stop. The clip spread instantly, with viewers dissecting every second like analysts studying a championship bout. But the roots of this conflict stretch far beyond recent headlines, reaching back to the early 2000s when T.I. and 50 Cent were dominating the rap world from opposite corners of the country. T.I. was repping Atlanta's Bankhead, while 50 Cent held firm in South Jamaica, Queens. Both stepped into the industry carrying authentic street credibility, nothing manufactured for attention. For years, public interactions suggested mutual respect. They crossed paths at major events, award shows, and industry gatherings without open hostility. Still, beneath the surface, tension lingered quietly, building pressure like a sealed pot ready to erupt.
I want to say something about my mama, your mama. Your mama, go dig up.
That is what happens when two dominant forces occupy the same arena. Each sees himself as the standard, the one everyone else measures against. Neither man was built to stand quietly in the background applauding the other. In this industry, status is constantly tested, through numbers, influence, and who truly holds the culture's attention. The unspoken question of who stood above whom lingered in the air like a storm waiting to break. Then the Versus era arrived, and the culture began craving legendary showdowns. T.I. later revealed that during a promotional stop in Los Angeles, he and 50 Cent reached a private understanding. According to Tip, the arrangement was straightforward. He would issue the public challenge, and 50 Cent would step forward to accept it. Fans were meant to witness a historic clash, two powerhouse catalogs colliding, anthem against anthem, on a stage built for lyrical combat. The demand was already there. The moment felt inevitable. But when the time came for 50 Cent to honor that agreement, T.I. says the response never came. No confirmation. No refusal. Just silence. In a space where presence is everything, that kind of quiet does not feel neutral, it feels personal. By February 6th and 7th, 2026, T.I. was no longer willing to hold that frustration in. He appeared on the Nightcap podcast with Shannon Sharpe and Chad Osino and spoke with direct clarity. There were no coded messages, no softened language. It was an unmistakable call-out, delivered with the weight of long-held tension behind every word.
The picture of your mama, she pay respect. Stop playing with my mama.
This moment was anything but spontaneous. T.I. had been holding on to that frustration for a long time, and once it surfaced, the clip spread across timelines within hours. He was not speaking quietly behind closed doors. He was on a nationally viewed platform openly stating that 50 Cent, also known as Curtis Jackson, was avoiding the matchup. Anyone familiar with 50 Cent understands that public challenges like that rarely go unanswered. And right on cue, the response came swiftly through Instagram. He began sharing clips tied to T's past legal situations, pairing them with a PSA-style meme that suggested, Forget versus, let's try the stay away challenge and keep our distance. It was not playful banter. It was precise, calculated mockery delivered with a knowing grin. 50 Cent even added an LOL, framing the entire exchange like entertainment rather than conflict. That has always been part of his approach, reduce the opponent to a joke before the music even speaks. But for T.I., there was nothing humorous about it. Not even remotely.
Have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. Okay, go.
By February 11th, 50 Cent intensified the pressure, labeling T.I. as King Rat on Instagram and resurfacing old snitch allegations connected to Tip's 2007 federal firearms case. Within hip-hop culture, that accusation carries a weight far beyond ordinary insults. Once that tag is attached to a name, it lingers no matter how many accolades follow. T.I. responded immediately without hesitation. He insisted only one of them deserved that title and claimed he possessed documentation to support his stance. Then he challenged 50 Cent directly, step forward and face him or remain silent and move in fear. There was nothing indirect about the message. It was confrontation in its purest form. The exchanges online were intense, but everyone understood the real response would come through music. And Tip delivered. On February 22nd, T.I. appeared on $1 million worth of Game and laid out his version of events in full detail. The conversations they shared, the agreement they supposedly reached, and how once he made it public, 50 Cent acted as though none of it existed. From Tip's perspective, that was more than avoidance, it was a reflection of character. Then February 23rd arrived, and T.I. released a diss snippet titled War, signaling he was fully engaged. But he did not stop there. Later that same day, he dropped the full track, The Right One, pushing the conflict into territory few diss records ever reach. The lyrics landed with heavy force. He was not merely questioning 50 Cent's toughness, he was challenging the very persona that built Curtis Jackson's global reputation, portraying 50 Cent as little more than a meme page boss and online troll hiding behind a phone instead of stepping into the booth. Then came a line that left everyone gasping. In perhaps the most controversial moment of the track, T.I. brought up 50 Cent's late mother, a boundary so sacred that even seasoned rap veterans insist should never be touched. The response online was instantaneous. Half the culture praised T.I. for confronting one of rap's most calculated opponents head-on. The other half argued he had gone too far, targeting someone who could no longer defend herself. But if T's record was the earthquake, what followed was the aftershock that shook everything loose. 50 Cent retaliated by posting an unflattering photo of Tiny Harris on Instagram, warning T.I. to keep his family out of the feud. One post was all it took to pull a spouse into the crossfire, a clear violation of hip-hop's unwritten rule, families stay off limits. That's when the conflict turned intensely personal. King Harris went live on Instagram, his voice trembling with raw emotion. He made it unmistakably clear that attacking his mother was not just rap talk, it was crossing a line. He wasn't joking, and everyone watching could feel that this was no longer about music. It was about family, and he would not back down. Then came the line nobody saw coming. King Harris fired back in a statement that shocked the internet, telling 50 Cent to dig up his late mother and post a better picture. That clip spread like wildfire, igniting even more chaos. A young man speaking directly to a billionaire mogul with zero filter. It was unrelenting, raw, and it perfectly captured how far this feud had strayed from music into deeply personal territory. King Harris did not back down. He doubled down, pouring even more intensity into his message, making it crystal clear this wasn't about clout or attention, it was about defending his mother. The hurt in his voice was unmistakable. This wasn't a rehearsed rap punchline. It was a son reacting in real time, standing up for the woman who raised him. True to form, 50 Cent responded in his usual manner, memes and mockery. He posted an image comparing King Harris to Pepe the Frog, ridiculing the family's appearance and turning an emotionally charged moment into a social media joke. The tension escalated further when Tina Knowles publicly stepped in to defend Tiny Harris, widening the circle. This was no longer just rap drama, it had cultural weight, and eyes across the world were locked in. The air felt thick with anticipation. Then on February 24th, while T.I. continued dropping music, 50 Cent shifted strategies entirely. He went online to flaunt a different kind of victory, announcing a sold-out Broadway run of Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Accompanied by a shocked emoji, the message was clear. While you're in the booth, I'm making moves on stages you can't even touch. It was a calculated, loud, strategic power play. Without dropping a single bar, he had flipped the battlefield. While T.I. channeled everything into 2 diss tracks, one of which crossed a major line, 50 Cent responded with a Broadway sellout proof that changed the conversation entirely. This was no longer about bars, it was about dominance and relevance in 2026, a whole different scoreboard. King Harris then stepped up for his father, calling out 50 Cent for his long history of feuds, from Lil' Kim to Kanye West, portraying him as someone who perpetually keeps drama alive for attention. Heavy words. And then came February 25, 2026. Then everything shifted. No warning. No caption. 50 Cent wiped every post, meme, and joke from Instagram, erasing the beef as if it had never existed. Overnight, the internet turned into a swarm of detectives, dissecting every clue. Was this a white flag? Legal pressure? Or a bigger strategy unfolding behind the scenes? Because let's be real, 50 Cent doesn't back down easily. This is the same man who faced off with Ja Rule and kept a grin on his face. Deleting all the receipts like that had eyebrows raising everywhere. It was one of the most unexpected plot twists in modern rap beef history. After days filled with savage diss tracks, relentless memes, and attacks dragging mothers, wives, and even kids into the chaos, something behind the scenes changed. Sources close to both camps revealed that T.I. made a move nobody anticipated. Instead of posting, tweeting, or sending coded messages through the media, he reportedly reached out directly to 50 Cent. No Instagram. No middleman. Just phone to phone. You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing. The tone was entirely different from the war-ready energy he had been projecting online. The word people keep repeating about that call is simple: apology. Not begging. Not folding. But a grown man acknowledging that things had gone too far, that certain lines, especially those involving mothers, living or gone, should never have been crossed. T.I. had already made it clear he had lost respect and did not intend to share a stage. But there is a huge difference between calling someone out and letting a feud spiral until it burns everything to the ground. That realization shifted the entire temperature of the situation. T.I. is a man who has navigated federal cases, served time, and rebuilt his career multiple times. If anyone knows when a fire is getting out of control, it's him. And this wasn't just about 50 Cent anymore. The tension was creeping toward King Harris, toward Tiny Harris, and toward everyone connected to them. That kind of fallout hits differently when family members are in the line of fire. The timing said it all. Right as whispers of an apology began circulating, 50 Cent wiped his page clean of anything related to T.I. disappeared. No memes. No shots. Just silence. And when 2 men who had been posting daily suddenly go quiet, that silence speaks louder than any diss track ever could. But here's the twist. T's final album, Kill the King, was looming on the horizon. Some skeptics suggest that this entire saga, from the Versus challenge to the diss tracks to the reported apology, may have been carefully orchestrated promo. The moment he announces a final album, a headline-grabbing feud erupts. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. Let's be real, the music industry thrives on spectacle. Manufactured tension is far from new. T.I. is sharp. He understands timing, headlines, and how to get the culture buzzing. He's been in the game long enough to know exactly how the machine works. Every trending debate, heated comment, and viral clip becomes free publicity for an album that hasn't even dropped yet. That is no accident. But regardless of whether the apology was genuine or strategic, it still happened. And in hip-hop, it's rare to see someone who appears to be winning publicly choose to step back rather than escalate further. Reports from the Black Wall Street Times suggest the feud had already crossed deeply personal lines. History shows that personal rap beefs rarely resolve peacefully. Opting for communication over chaos may have been the boldest move in this saga, because it takes far more strength to de-escalate than to keep throwing shots. And here's what many forget, this wasn't T's first tense public moment. 2 years before the Versus drama, long before the diss tracks and deleted posts, there was an incident at an Atlanta Falcons game on November 26, 2023. A clip that had nothing to do with rap rivals and everything to do with fatherhood. The day was meant to be calm, Atlanta Falcons versus New Orleans Saints, luxury suite vibes at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, proud dad energy everywhere on social media. T.I. had been posting about his kids, hyping the game, just doing normal fatherly things. Everything seemed smooth. Then King Harris went live on Instagram from inside the suite, and within seconds, what started as heated words escalated into physical confrontation. The cameras captured a father-son clash the public was never meant to witness. Or maybe King Harris chose to let the world see it. Either way, once that live stream went up, there was no taking it back. The tension was palpable. T.I. wasn't just arguing, he was testing his son in front of thousands. He questioned whether King Harris had truly experienced the struggles that shaped him. This wasn't idle talk. It was a challenge, a reminder that the grind T.I. came from was real, not some online performance. It was more than football. It was a generational clash unfolding live. A self-made father confronting a son determined to prove he was already grown. T.I. called out what he saw as performative toughness versus lived experience. He made it clear, talking tough is not the same as surviving adversity. Wearing struggle as a costume does not equal having endured it. In Tip's eyes, King Harris's hard persona felt like image play, for a young man striving to prove he was more than just a famous last name. Hearing that critique live, in front of thousands, hit hard. That moment ignited the fire. What happened next inside that Atlanta Falcons suite became a masterclass in how family conflicts unfold in the social media age. One tap, one live stream, and a private disagreement became a public spectacle. King Harris did not fold. He didn't stay silent. He responded with raw emotion, proving this wasn't a fleeting argument. It was about identity. Was he his own man, or just living in the shadow of the world his father built? The silver spoon, the Nepo baby narrative, it carried weight. The idea that everything he had was handed to him, rather than earned, cut deeper than any diss track could. And that critique came not from a rival, but from the one person whose approval mattered most, his father. You could feel the emotion in King Harris's voice. He wasn't delivering some calm, rehearsed argument. He repeated himself, stumbled over words, and struggled to keep up with emotions moving faster than he could process. King Harris knew his father had endured hardships he himself hadn't faced, but he also believed he understood who he was. Having that identity challenged live, in front of the world, was heavy. The pauses, the overlapping phrases, they weren't weakness. They were raw emotion. That's what it sounds like when someone you love tells you, you are not who you think you are. Then came the line that defined the entire moment, I stand on business. That was King Harris planting his flag, signaling to everyone, especially his dad, that he was not soft, not pretending, and not just living off a famous name. Every young man reaches that point, looking his father in the eye and declaring, I am my own person. King Harris did it live, with the whole internet watching and screen recording in real time. The argument escalated physically fast. A shove happened, and T.I. reacted, locking his son in a headlock. It looked intense, part instinct, part raw frustration. This was the move you make when words fail and emotions take over. 6 seconds of footage, but it felt monumental. A Grammy-winning artist wrestling with his own son inside a suite at an Atlanta Falcons game, with cameras rolling, the optics were heavy. Then Tiny Harris stepped in, separating them before it escalated further. Just like that, the room fell into the tense silence that follows an explosion. Afterward, King Harris posted on Instagram, messages filled with hate and defiance. He made it clear nobody could pressure him and even questioned how his own family truly saw him. It wasn't just anger, it was raw pain bubbling to the surface. Those posts disappeared quickly, but it was too late. Screenshots were already everywhere, spreading across blogs and hip-hop forums within minutes. Once the internet captures it, it never forgets. T's public response remained calm. He told everyone to stay out of it, making it clear that he made it clear that what happened between him and King Harris was family business. No outside commentary was needed. This wasn't their first clash either. Reports pointed back to a 2022 incident at a Waffle House, showing that this tension had been simmering for some time. At its core, the story is simple yet heavy. King Harris was pushing for independence, while T.I. was trying to guide and control. That friction never fully cooled. Even after the viral headlock moment, King Harris did not back down. He continued speaking up, defending his image, and rejecting any label that made him appear soft or fake. That stubborn energy speaks volumes. This wasn't just about toughness. It was about identity. King Harris was fighting for the right to define himself on his own terms, not just live under the blueprint of his father's past. The push and pull between a father who fought his way up and a son born into comfort is one of the most real dynamics in any family. No matter the money involved, it's pride, pressure, love, and ego all tangled together. Within days, the energy shifted toward peace. T.I. publicly showed love for King Harris, affirming that they were tied together for life and that he would ride to the heavens or depths for his family. That wasn't rap talk, that was father talk. He even promoted King Harris's song, Father Sons, with Domani Harris, showing that their bond was bruised, but not broken. By 2025, King Harris reflected as well, calling himself the man his father raised him to be and confirming that they were finally seeing eye to eye. That ugly Falcons suite moment may have been a wake-up call, not a breaking point.